So, hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Part-Time Players podcast with myself, Reese Lagden, and my friend Brad, the
Hello.
social media master. How are you doing today, Brad?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I wouldn't say I'm a social media master. I'm actually quite bad at it. So
Yeah,
that's
okay,
probably
well,
why we don't have any. So, yeah.
we rightly put you in charge of obviously something that you can't master at all. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm just an old man. Yeah, but we have obviously got our social media. So we've got our Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. So if you do want to follow us on Twitter and see those fantastic tweets, it's at PT Players Pod. And on Facebook, if you want to give us a like, it's Part-Time Players Podcast. Um, and again, if you want to have any questions or you just want to get in touch with us, you can email us at ptplayerspod@gmail.com.
yeah, very much. So, yeah, it'd be good to add that kind of segment in there if we do get any emails in at all, or, maybe we can just make up a few characters, like I
Yeah.
said before, maybe Dave or, Barbara from, somewhere. So, yeah, if not, we'll make up a few characters and maybe email to ourselves. But, yeah, no, I'm sure that won't be the case. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. No, definitely not. Definitely not.
no, authentic. But yeah, no, going on with the podcast this week, it's kind of a bit of an action-packed episode full of excitement. We'll kind of stick with the news. And a thing that I kind of saw in the last week since we recorded last Monday was Sean Layden, who was kind of head of Sony Studios before he kind of stepped down. He kind of gave an insight, which is kind of obvious that obviously games are becoming so expensive now to make.
Mm.
And he kind of said games will either have to become more expensive or will just have to be shorter. And it kind of like begged the question that I wanted to ask you: which first of all, which would you prefer? Would you rather games stay the same like length but become more expensive, or would you just prefer them to stay the same price but just be shorter?
Well, I don't really know how they'd do it because obviously games at the minute are the same, more or less the same price, and you've got a game like The Witcher, which we do mention a lot on this podcast. But a game like The Witcher, we got like hundreds of hours of gameplay. It's the same price as I don't know Halo. If you played Halo 5 when it came out, which had like a 6-7 hour campaign, so
Fair enough. Yeah.
I don't really know how would it be like if it's a shorter game they're gonna charge less, and if it's a long game they charge more. I don't know. I don't really
Hmm.
know how. And when you think they are
No.
expensive to make, they make a lot of money. Like
Sure.
the big AAA games, they make a lot more than like movies.
Yeah.
So and like you think like the Avengers made a most Marvel films, sorry, make over $1 billion. Games do that. So yeah, I don't know. When your question, it'd have to be what kind of game it is, because I'd say maybe a game like The Last of Us 2 maybe went on a bit too long, and that could have been a bit shorter. But
Yeah.
if you've got a game where it's like an RPG, you've got quests and everything, I don't want it to be short. I'd rather it
Sure.
be how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So do you think it should be the case that games should be priced differently? Depend because obviously you've got like the AAA games that always kind of set at that 50, £60 mark.
Mm.
And then you kind of got the indie games that are set around that like what, 30 to like 20 mark.
Yeah.
Do you think it should be just vary depending on length or kind of, I guess?
Yeah. I think they should just shut up and just make the games I like. That's basically just stop moaning, do your fucking job, make the game, and then specifically for me, so I enjoy it. That's what I think.
Fair
Yeah.
enough, fair
Now
enough.
I don't know. I don't, like I say, I don't really know how they do it. I don't know how they justify it. It'd just be messy. You're getting this massive RPG and you've got to pay like 80 quid for it. Oh, you got this little short, but even like a short campaign, you're paying like 50. I don't know. It's everything. It's going to have to be a standard price.
Mm,
Um, and I don't know. How do you judge what's too long? Because for some people, a game could be too long. For others, it's not long enough. Like, I think God of War was the perfect length. Some people might have thought, actually, it could have been done with being shaved down a bit here or there, or it
sure.
could have been longer. We could have done more. So I think
Mm,
it's tricky. I think basically what they'll do is they'll stay the same length and they'll just get more expensive. They'll just put the prices up. But I think you might be looking at a big AAA game is going to end up being close to 70 quid. Here in the UK, I don't know what that is in dollars, like $90 maybe or something. That's what I think will
Sure.
happen.
I
Especially
don't think the conversion rate's that much, is it?
yeah. Well,
$90 to £70?
I don't know. Let me check.
Yeah.
Let me get the. I'll give you a list of every country how much it will be.
No, I think in terms of $90 games, I think that's how much they're going to be, which I think will probably be what, 80 here, 85, whatever.
Yeah, about 80 quid.
I think they're going to be around £80 next, going into like the next generation, which in terms of like inflation and stuff, although we're kind of like as consumers and gamers and want to buy games, we're kind of like, we don't really want them to go up.
Yeah.
But it does kind of make sense. They've
It
been
can
the same
be
price for
expensive as it is, you know. It can be an expensive, especially when you get like to the back end of the year, when if there's like 3 or 4 games you want to play all come out at the same time, it's expensive anyway. Especially as like we've got a next gen coming up, so you're gonna have to fork out for the new console, which is we don't know a price, but it could be like, you know, I don't know, 700 quid. Yeah, it's very expensive, but I can see it. I can see it going up in price, but then I don't know how I would feel about paying 80 quid. I don't keep saying dollars, £80 for a 6-hour game. I just don't, you know what I mean?
That definitely wouldn't be the case. I think games that are really short, like you get them kind of, not so much recently. I suppose you still do, but I guess I just don't pay any attention to them. But you get like them games like Journey and stuff like that are kind of like a real short experience. And I can think of some like, I think Gone Home is another one where it's kind of like then kind of PS Plus. I kind of think of them as PS Plus games because that's how I've always played them.
Yeah.
Whenever they come up free, and it's kind of like this short little experience. Obviously, I've got it on PS Plus, and I pay nothing for it, so that's kind of a bit different. But I imagine if you did buy them, they're like what, £15, £20, which if I did want to fork out and I did like that kind of thing, I'd be quite happy to pay that kind of experience because it's kind of what you would pay for a film. Like if you rented or bought a film on like iTunes or whatever, you'd probably pay that anyway. And obviously that's a lot shorter. So, I think it just depends on probably maybe depending on who's made it, the quality of it, the length. I think just all these different things come into factor because I think if I remember rightly, a lot of the other day I was looking at the PS Store at like pre-orders, and I think Squadron, like the new Star Wars game coming up, which is obviously by EA, it's only 35.
Okay.
Which I might be wrong, but it was a lot cheaper. It wasn't like a £50-60 game. I was like, okay, interesting that this is a lot cheaper, which made me put into perspective what type of game it is, especially from seeing the gameplay. I don't think there's much of a game there at all. And also probably that's why they put it at that cheaper price point. So, I think for majority of like the big AAA simple games, like the next God of War, whatever, I think they'll probably be like £80.
Yeah, I can see it going that way. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. When I can remember when the 360 and the PS3 come out, games when they first come out were more expensive than like the current gen games were back then. So like the normal Xbox and the PS2, they were a lot more back then. I think they was like 50 quid, and I was like, wow, that's a lot. You know, that's a lot more expensive. But obviously now that's the normal. So and especially when they just launched the next gen games, they'll be a lot. So if you want to get a couple of games on launch on the console, it's going to be very expensive.
Yeah. I don't know what the ones at launch are going to be like because obviously you're going to get a lot of the previous gen having the free upgrades.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to fill your console. So it probably won't feel like a new generation because I feel like normally when you get like when I jump from the PS3 to the PS4, you kind of feel like I had nothing to pay like for like the first year or so.
Okay,
Infamous Second Son came out. I had FIFA. I think I had like Black Flag, which was once again was on the previous generation. But I guess technically FIFA was as well. But this gen, I don't think it's going to feel like that because all the games are just going to have a free upgrade. So you're basically going to have the same library what you already had, but everything's going to look a little bit more shiny and a little bit better.
Yeah,
And then slowly, surely, you're just going to get the new games.
but
So I
if
feel like
you
it's not going to feel like a new generation. It's going to be like quite a easy transition.
yeah, but if I've paid like £600 for a new console, I
Hmm.
don't then just want to replay games I've already played. So even though they'll look better, but I don't, I'd rather play new games that I haven't experienced. So
Sure.
I get what you're saying, and that's a good idea. But yeah, I'd rather play new stuff. So yeah, we'll have to wait to see. Wait, I don't know when they're going to bring the price out. I think Microsoft they've got a big show at the end of July, so they'll probably bring out
Yeah,
obviously the
I do.
Series
Yeah.
X, and it may be a price and a date. I think Sony and Microsoft are kind of waiting to see who goes first. So
Yeah.
they're just waiting to see who comes out with a date and a price, so then they can just, I don't know, get the upper hand or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Do you think it's not fixed? As in, if Xbox say a certain price, Sony will change theirs, or do you think it's fixed at this
Well,
stage?
you'd think it would be fixed, but
Yeah,
you
you would. Yeah.
remember that EA when they announced the Xbox One, and everyone was just like, "What the fuck is this? This looks shit." And then the next day, Sony was just like, "Hey, guess what? It comes out here. It was cheaper. You can borrow, you can lend games to everyone. You don't have to build, always online." And they just
Yeah.
stole it. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that's left a bad taste in Microsoft's mouth, and they're like, "We don't want that to happen again," because
Sure.
a lot of people left Xbox. Then, like me and my mate, we was full on 360, and then after that happened and we realized we'd be getting a PlayStation 4, we just
Hmm.
abandoned the 360 and started playing the PS3. So,
Sure.
and then obviously upgraded to the PS4. So yeah, I think that's what they might be. You never know,
Yeah.
there might be some leeway. They might have a little bit of room to adjust the price to see when. I dare say the date is set, but the price maybe they can.
Hmm. I
Maybe
think
I
if
don't know.
anybody was going to do that, I think Xbox, because looking at the landscape, I think Xbox is a bit more desperate, like you said, like people like yourself to win people back.
Yeah,
Where I think PlayStation's a little bit more arrogant in a sense of like, you're committed, we've got the games, you're not going anywhere.
yeah, yeah.
We can charge you an extra £100 for the console. We know you're still going to buy it. You're not going over there. What they got? What are they offering you? Nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Halo. Why would you want to go there? So I think they're a little bit more like the kid with the big suite, and Xbox have got the little suite. Do you know what I mean? They're
Yeah,
thinking, why
yeah.
would you want to go over that? Do you know what I mean? So, and they've got me. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, to be
Like
fair,
it's good.
I'm
Like
not
whatever the
gonna.
price is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's an Xbox or the PS5, I'm gonna get the PS5. Um, they hurt me. So I'm not going back to them. They can, you know. Well, I'm not going back to them. I've got an Xbox One, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you do, don't you? So
And I
yeah,
pay
you have.
£7.99 a month for the Game Pass, which I
Yeah,
don't
you're
use. So
two timing. You're two timing. You've got
yeah,
both consoles.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm a little bitch. So yeah,
Well, kind of, I guess, is a bit of a segue onto it because that's what I was going to talk about next. But for example, like Cyberpunk, for example, which looks absolutely daunting and massive and too big,
yeah,
and I'm kind of almost not looking forward to it coming out. Although I'm really looking forward to it at the same time, which is kind of a bit weird. It's kind of like I know I'm not going to finish that game before the PS5 comes out.
yeah,
So if I'm like started it on the PS4 and then maybe a week or 2 weeks because it's coming out on like the 19th of November, the game is. Obviously, we don't know when the console's coming, but I imagine it's going to be around about that date.
yeah,
Within the week, I would expect. You can't expect it to be. It might be already out. I wouldn't be surprised if the new generation games console, sorry, come out before that game because you kind of think you're coming up to like the end of November and it's getting too close to December with Christmas. So
yeah. I
you'd think
think
it'd be almost like early November that the consoles would be coming out. So
Yeah, I think they
um,
generally try and bring them out before Thanksgiving in America. So, because
sure,
obviously you got the big sales out there. So
sure,
yeah, probably mid-November. They'll
yeah,
be coming out. After we've recorded this, they'll probably release a date, and we're completely wrong.
yeah,
So
yeah. But yeah, saying that, like I'll be quite. I know I won't finish it before the console comes out. So if it does come out after the game, and so it'll be quite nice to just transition like my save over to the new console.
Oh yeah, that is a good idea. Yeah, that is. I,
But
I
things
agree
like
with that.
that,
Yeah, and it's free as well. So a free up, you
yeah,
get a free upgrade. So that is a really good idea. And I get that. Yeah, because
mm,
if I'm halfway playing a game and then it can look a lot better on my new console, I'm definitely going to play it on my new one. It's just like,
exactly.
say I've got The Last of Us 2 on the PS4, and then like I will upgrade it when it comes on the PS5. I don't want to play. Certainly don't want to play Last of Us 2 again. So
Sure.
it's a little spoiler there, little teaser for our upcoming discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to play like a game that I played a few months ago or a year ago, or even though they're massively enjoyable, even if they did like when the new Spider-Man comes out, like the Miles Morales Spider-Man comes out, even if they did like, oh, 2018 Spider-Man is now been remastered, you can play that with this,
Mm.
free of charge. Yeah, no, I don't really want to play this again. So I probably wouldn't play it. But I was kind of thinking when I was saying that was like games, like I said, with Cyberpunk, or with games like a bit more like reoccurring, like throughout the year. So like I play Destiny, but I play on and off throughout the year. So obviously that's a
Yeah,
free upgrade. So that will just transition over. Or if I buy like I might buy FIFA this year, or I might not. I don't know how I feel. Sometimes I buy it, sometimes I don't. But once again, it's like a game that you play all year round. So
you're
them kind
definitely
of
gonna
games.
you're gonna be buying Madden. No, you buy Madden every year. So
Yeah,
yeah, Madden,
Madden and NBA and
NHL. If
all
they
that.
still do an
Yeah.
NHL one, I don't know. Yeah, so
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, they must do. Yeah, I don't know if
yeah,
that's an EA
I
or
don't know.
2K, but yeah, I think it's an EA one. But yeah, them kind of games that are kind of ongoing throughout the year, it's kind of be a bit more of an easy transition. Where I did buy FIFA because I was a bit of a bigger FIFA player at the beginning of the generation than I am now, and I bought it on the PS3 and then I had to re-buy it again on the PS4, so I bought it twice. Also, that's not going
Okay.
to be the case this
Yeah, so yeah,
generation.
it'd be good. Yeah, because like I had GTA 5 on the PS3 and the PS4.
Exactly, yeah,
Mainly
same, yeah.
because I got it in the bundle. That's when I got my PS4. That was the game they put in the box. So
Yeah,
um, yeah, it is. I think it's a really good. It is a really good idea as long as there's new stuff as well, because that's what's going to draw people in. Um,
yeah, yeah. With GTA Online being free, and obviously with the free upgrade for the PS5, with like the main campaign and everything. Once again, GTA is going to be porting over to the next generation, and once again, it's a free upgrade. So yeah, it's definitely a different kind of attitude in terms of the transition, which I feel like it's going to make it seem a little bit more seamless than it was before. Than kind of feeling like it's a bit of like an empty library.
hmm,
I feel like the library is going to feel like, oh, I've got all this backlog, and even although me and you probably played most games that we want to play, a lot of people might not have, and it would have been locked on the previous generation where you're not going to have that kind of library locked on the previous generation. You're going to it's just going to imagine it's going to keep building from now on. I
yeah,
don't imagine if there is a PS6 that the PS5 and the PS4 games will be then locked. So I imagine all them two libraries will be pulled over to the next one. And I imagine that will be the trend going forward now. So yeah, I think this is kind of the PS3, the PS4 will probably be the last generation where it's kind of feels like a new console
yeah.
in
I know
terms
what
of
you
like the
mean. Yeah,
library and stuff. But yeah, I did mention it earlier, but yeah, segue over to the next piece was Cyberpunk Wired aired last week. It was kind of interesting. They had a few announcements. Kind of goes into my theory that I said last week on my like what I said when I said that they moved the date because of the Xbox, and then they confirmed that the upgrades will be for the console launch and they will be free of charge. So
yeah,
I was slightly wrong because I said they'll probably charge you more, but which is kind of a bit stupid for me to say because everybody's been given free upgrades. So I don't know why they would charge for it. So it's a bit stupid for me to say that, but it does kind of line up for what I was saying last week of why they did push it back. Although I, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh because the game looks so big it probably does need so many polishing, a lot of bugs, and I don't know. It seems like so much to do. I don't know what you thought of the watching it and stuff, Brad.
that was a really good trailer. Like, I saw the trailer, and it looked massive, and there's so much going on. You saw so much, and then it was like, oh yeah, this all happens in the prologue. It's the first couple of quests, and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah,
how long is this game going to be? That is definitely
yeah,
doesn't come
yeah.
under the part-time players game. It's just like you said,
Yeah, it does not at all.
it's going to be a
The
struggle
opposite.
playing like completing it, because again, I'm going to bring up The Witcher 3. I only really got that completed because I got it on the Switch and I could play it
Yeah.
anywhere. So if I went round my
Wait for
girl,
the Switch version.
yeah, exactly, yeah, if I went round my girlfriend's parents, I took it with me so I didn't have to talk. That's the kind of I could do that. So
Unsocial behaviour, yeah.
yeah, but obviously being on a PS4 or PS5, whatever you're playing it on or whatnot, it's going to be so big, yeah, and um, there's certain games where, like, where we're this podcast is around, where we try and fit time in to play. There's certain
Yeah,
games you can play for 15 minutes, get a little bit in here and there, and there's certain
yeah.
games where you just can't. And I don't think Cyberpunk will
Mm.
be one, because if you ain't going to want to start it, play for 15 minutes, you're in the middle of a quest or like whatnot, and then having to turn it off. Or I personally don't like that. So yeah, it does look daunting, but it does look very, very good as well. So
Yeah, in terms of like kind of going into your saying when you said about the psych meter, my levels of hype for this game is very high. Like, I think this game looks incredible, like
yeah,
to the point where it's like, wow, I've never seen anything like that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, oh my God, I don't even want to lose myself into this world because it just looks absolutely, to
massive.
use the same word again, yeah, massive and
Yeah,
daunting, because I don't know how many hours I can put into this. And I guess it kind of goes to like, if I put in 20 or 30 hours and I was just done with it and I was satisfied with it, well, I guess I got my money's worth. I don't need to complete it. So
yeah,
although we're saying it's daunting or whatever, I guess you don't have to complete everything. I never completed The Witcher. Do I think Witcher's bad? Do I like The Witcher? Yeah, yes. I enjoyed my time with it. I never finished it. I gave up. Same with like most of them games like Fallout, Skyrim. I never beat any of them games.
yeah. I'll see.
I think I got like
I
three
do
quarters of the
beat them.
fall and I've been, yeah,
Yeah, as you know, I did platinum Skyrim twice. So
full time player.
yeah, full time player.
Yeah,
But
I'm sorry, thought he was going to go there.
yeah, no,
But yeah,
sorry,
no,
I was drinking some water. Yeah, so it does look that the video they showed of that mechanic they're using, it called Brain Dance. I
yeah,
think you bought it when we were talking about it during the week. I can see that being a bit of a chore. Like they said, they showed the stuff you can do, and you can do this, you can change it, and you can analyze this, and like look at
yeah,
the camera. I can just, and they were saying that that's integral to the gameplay, so that's going to be featuring a lot.
sure.
I can just imagine it
Yeah,
kind of being a bit, yeah, a bit of a bit of a job,
too
and
much at
yeah,
times. Yeah.
and I don't want that when I'm playing it. Like, if you're on a game and it's got a good flow, and then you have to go in and do something, you don't enjoy it. Obviously,
It looks like
it's
one of the ones where you're Googling the answer.
yeah, exactly,
That's the
yeah,
kind of thing I do. It kind of takes you out of the game, but I sometimes have that with games where it's kind of like, okay, you've got a puzzle. I've tried it a few times. I can't get it. Maybe I'm stupid. Yes, I'll fully admit I'm stupid. I'm just going to Google it because I just want to
exactly,
move on. This is
yeah,
now boring me. So yeah, that's what I'll probably do with most of them because I'll try and work it out. I can't do it. I'll just Google it and move on because yeah, I don't want to spend 20 minutes of maybe I've only got a certain amount of time I can play with the game, like you said. And if I'm spending 20 minutes, half an hour doing this thing that's not very fun, yeah, I'll probably just look it up and move on.
exactly, yeah, and that's kind of, it's a shame because someone's put dedicated, like, a sizable amount of their life, their career, whatever, like, to build it, and then you just kind of like, oh, where's Google? Where's, I just want to get it over with, but it
Yeah.
does look good, and I think, maybe the first few times you play it, it could be good, and I could be completely wrong. You could be like, oh, actually, this is different every time, and it's actually all right. It's not that long, and it's not that in depth.
No, yeah. I
Um,
think it will be diverse in terms of like it'll be a completely different thing each time because I think they even mentioned in that Wired kind of event thing or episode because I think this is episode one. They're going to do another one in two
yeah,
weeks. that they kind of said every kind of conversation you have, every side mission, every main mission, every brain dart, everything you
Yeah,
do has meaning, purpose, a story behind it, lore.
yeah,
It's 4 hours worth of, do you know what I mean? It's just like, oh God, come on.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. So
And
yeah, I
the
think it
biggest
would definitely be
question
another.
as well, the biggest question is where does Keanu Reeves fit into it? You know, that's the biggest. That's the
Johnny
yeah.
Silverhands,
To be
which is
fair,
what a
when
fucking name.
everyone went mad when he come on stage, I was like, I don't really care. Like, I don't, I don't. I
Oh,
think,
really? That
yeah,
was such a hype moment
I
last
think,
year at
yeah, I
E3.
know.
That
I
was
think
mental.
Keanu Reeves is a really nice guy, and apparently he's like legitimately a good guy. And I like, you know,
Mm.
like some of his stuff. But I was like, yeah, all right, cool. I don't, you know, yeah, sweet. I don't.
No, it was just that reaction because I just was not expecting. I was watching the trailer thinking, okay, this is all good. But obviously, it's very watching this trailer, it's very hype watching it. And then when he just dropped down and dropped that glasses, I was like, oh my God. But
Yeah,
just to hear the crowd, and so I imagine being there, it would have been even
yeah,
more. It was one of the biggest hype moments I've ever noticed at E3, especially in the last couple of years. Um, it's one of the standout moments that I can think of when it comes to E3, other than that, some PlayStation ones, because I generally tune into Xbox for like the third party stuff,
yeah, yeah,
obviously. And sometimes I just like to look at the competition to see if they're doing anything decent. And every year I'm kind of like, oh, I'm kind of glad I haven't got an Xbox.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, obviously Cyberpunk was one of the things I wanted to watch because it is third party. But yeah, going back to the brain dance stuff, it kind of reminds me a little bit of. Do you remember the detective mode or the investigation mode
Yeah,
in
and
Batman
Batman. Yeah, I
Arkham?
was going to say that it looks like a very, very more in depth, intense version of yeah, detective mode.
Intense, yeah.
Yeah, because even that sometimes on detective mode, it kind of got a bit. Oh, all right, this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was quite simplified. You kind of got it, or I felt like everything was quite obvious.
Yeah.
Where I don't think this is. I feel like this is going to make you work. Like, it's going to feel like you got to really like work stuff out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll see what it is. Obviously, it's
It
maybe we'll
looks.
get more details.
It does look amazing, and I love all the upgrade options you're going to have. You know, like there's just going to be so many different stuff you can do to yourself, like upgrades, weapons, and yeah, it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to play it
Yeah,
for
upgrade weapons,
the
body
next 3 years.
parts, all sorts.
Yeah, yeah. So it's going to be it's going to be a really good game. Like you say, it's not going to be a game that we can do play it and then the next week we can do a review. I don't think that's going to be able to.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think that's going to
that's
happen.
definitely not happening.
No.
That might be. I don't know. I don't know if you know if I will ever finish it. I will try, obviously, but it's one of the ones that will probably take months, at least a month. No, not even at least a month. It'll take months for me to finish that game. I feel
Yeah,
just
exactly.
looking at the scope of it, I don't know. I think they already confirmed a few years ago that it's a lot bigger than The Witcher 3. So yeah, just thinking about that, it's just kind of like, oh, great, this is going to be massive. So, and even like the city, which is supposed to be huge. Obviously, then you got the Badlands, which they briefly showed, where it's kind of like this wilderness kind
Yep.
of thing,
Yep.
where it's kind of run by, I think they said the nomads.
Yeah.
So there's like different factions, different groups, and I think when you start make your character, you can either be like a corporate, or you can be a nomad, or you can be, I think it's a street kid or something like that. And then depending on what kind of arc you choose, I think people react to you differently, or you might have a different kind of story or different kind of skill tree. It's so diverse. It's
Yeah.
and detailed. It's borderline ridiculous. Did
Yeah.
you see Adam Smasher, the cyborg?
Yeah, yeah, that and that's from like lore as well because there's some lore which I don't know about. I don't know anything about it. Called Cyberpunk 2020, and
Mm,
he's from that, and there he's
okay.
just like some absolutely just just a machine. Um,
Yeah.
he's almost as ripped as Abby from The Last of Us too. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
just yeah, I think it looks really good, and that's what I like as well. Like all his lore, like The Witcher has really good lore. So them building off, if they've got like a good groundwork for all this lore, I think it's going to be a really good game. And yeah, it's can't
Mm.
look forward to November when it comes out. It's a shame that it did get because when they said it got, I think we said last week when they said it's been delayed, I was like, I don't really mind waiting another couple of months because I've kind of lost all sense of time at the moment anyway. But now I'm like,
Mm.
oh, actually, I really would like to it come out in September. So
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm a bit like, I really want to play this as soon as possible.
yeah,
But yeah, yeah, I can't wait for the game. It looks incredible, and I'm sure whenever it does come out, even if it doesn't come out in November, I wouldn't be overly surprised if they delayed it again to 2021.
oh, don't say that.
I
Come on
wouldn't
now.
be surprised at all,
Boo.
just because of how big it looks.
Yeah,
The only other probably thing from the Wired that we haven't mentioned was that an anime is coming in 2022
yeah,
on
2022.
Netflix,
That seemed a bit weird as well. Like 2 years after the game comes out.
or
So
maybe 1 year after the game comes out. Or
if
maybe that's when the game comes out.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe there was a hint. Yeah, where we're actually delaying it to 2077 when it's
yeah,
set,
yeah. You're going to be dead, so you can't play it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Will we? I don't think we will be. When will that
Uh,
work?
that'll, I don't know. I can't.
It's 2020
Yeah,
now,
I
so
can't
yeah.
work out how old I'll be then. But yeah, so I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it.
No.
Okay, we won't do it.
No.
But yeah. What do you think of the anime? Will you watch it? Do you ever watch anime at all?
The only anime I watched was obviously Pokemon back in the day. Loved it. And I
Does that
still watch.
count as an anime?
Yeah, I
Does
think
that
so.
count?
Yeah, and I still watch.
Okay,
I
okay,
still watch it now.
okay.
Every now and again. Only like not the new stuff though. I'm very stuck in my ways. Like the games, I really only like the first few generations. So like
Sure,
the
yeah. The
Kanto
original one
region,
with Ash and stuff, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the
Mm.
only other anime I've watched was Attack on Titan, which was really good.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I've heard of it. I never watched that, yeah.
I'm not a massive anime guy. I don't really know a lot about it. But yeah, those two, obviously, I did like. I did start to watch One Punch Man. I
Yeah.
just kind of fell. I don't know. I watched a few episodes and I was kind of like, oh yeah, all right, cool, and I just didn't watch it
Yeah,
anymore.
I watched One Punch Man. I love it. It's probably my
Oh, okay.
favorite, anime. How many
Yeah,
episodes in did you get?
maybe three.
Yeah, you need to get to like episode 4 or 5 because the first 2 or 3 is really weird. It's like one of the most
Yeah,
weirdest things I've ever watched. And I did fall off. I watched like 2 episodes because
yeah.
someone recommended it to me. I was like, oh wow, this is a bit weird. And I never watched it again. And in lockdown, maybe like 2 months ago, I thought, oh, let's give it a go. I've got nothing else really to watch. I was on Netflix anyway. And then I just watched it. And yeah, once you get past episode 5, it opens up and it is the best thing I've ever watched in terms
Okay,
of
yeah,
anime.
I'll give it another go then.
Really,
Yeah,
yeah, give
always
it a couple more
stuff to
episodes a
watch.
go and you'll open it up and then watch season 2. Season 2 is even better. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Do
Yeah,
you
it's
do
like my favorite ever.
subs or dubs?
Dubs.
Dubs, yeah, I do. I must admit, I know a lot of people probably say that subs is better, but yeah, no, dubs for me all the way.
Yeah, no, I can't
Dubs
do the
and
subs.
dubstep.
I can't read, so subs are no good.
I
So
did forget that. Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But
I don't
yeah,
like
no,
dubstep, by the way.
I
That
enjoyed
was a joke. Sorry, everyone.
it. Yeah, second way and away from anime. So the next kind of thing we want to talk about was Avengers War Table and our quick thoughts on that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't have as much on this as I did like Cyberpunk. I think it looks. I don't know. I'd say it looks alright, but it also kind of looks. I don't know. I want to say. I don't want to say cheap because it doesn't look cheap, but it doesn't look. It does. I just don't know. I don't really know. I just don't know how I feel about it. I think, like I was saying with Squadrons, I'd like to play these games if I had enough. Like not enough. I know I haven't got no friends, but enough friends who play on the same system as me or into video games to play. If you're having to play with other people and it's going to put you with people, I don't really want. That's not really my cup of tea. So
mm,
I just don't know. I know you've got a gripe about if you want to play as a certain character and you can't, then yeah, I just don't know how it
yeah.
works.
I don't. Once again, I don't know much about the game, and they even joked about it at the beginning. It was kind of like, if you're wondering what the game is, this will answer that because I think that's the most common thing people are asking. What is this game? And although they have kind of explained it, and I kind of do get what type of game it is, I still don't fully understand what this game
Yeah,
is. So
yeah,
I've got so many more questions. And one, that's why I can't really get excited about it. And two, when I watch the gameplay, especially after watching like Cyberpunk or whatever, they're just the level, like you said, of quality there in terms of gameplay. It just doesn't look that great.
hmm
And it's kind of a little bit jarring in a way because you kind of look at the character models and it looks like a AAA game. It kind of looks like Spider-Man, but then you ain't got the gameplay to match. It almost looks like a Marvel's Alliance
Yeah,
or something a bit more of like a basic multiplayer
yeah,
game where you're kind of spamming square, like a Diablo, or do you know what I mean? Like a
yeah, yeah,
game where you're kind of spamming one button and you kind of just do the same moves, and you might get like a power bar, or whatever, where you can kind of a bit more like a traditional RPG where you kind of get moves and stuff.
yeah,
But it's kind of like the way the game looks, you're expecting it to do a lot more, and it doesn't, which kind of takes me out. And then with the multiplayer stuff, I just don't know how it's working, because when they confirm that you only can play one character at a time, and it's kind of like, if I've leveled up Iron Man and Iron Man's my main character that I really want to play with, or my favorite character, and then I play online with a group of people and there's already an Iron Man in it, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, who am I going to be now? Okay, I'm my second best character. Okay, I want to be Thor. Oh, no, there's already a Thor. There's already a Captain America. Oh, no, I'm now stuck with Black Widow.
yeah,
Great.
yeah,
I don't, I just don't know how that's really going to work. I don't know.
yeah.
It's just a bit strange.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It doesn't look. It looks like it's got a good story, and the villain looks good, Modark.
Mm,
Uh, but yeah, as regards to the game, like you say, don't know enough about it. You know, and I really like Marvel, so I should be all over this. But I'm just kind of like, no, I'm not interested. You know, so
sure.
yeah, we'll wait to see. You know, bring out more
Mm,
details and that. But I don't. It's
yeah.
not even got a release date yet, has it? So.
Yeah.
Oh, it has. Was it out?
Yeah. I think it's out in September, is it
Oh, it
not?
just shows I
They pushed
wasn't.
it back to September. They never pushed it back again. So yeah, I think it's still coming out in September.
I
I'm not
wasn't
sure,
watching the.
17 maybe. I don't know why that's ringing the bell. I can't remember the exact date, but it's definitely September.
Okay, I wasn't watching the war table that up close by the looks of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, no,
sorry everyone.
yeah, it's definitely September. But yeah, we'll see what happens with it. I'm sure they'll do another event which explains a little bit more. But
Yeah,
it just, yeah, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by the game, and I feel like there's not going to be a lot of content at launch.
mm-hmm.
It's definitely not one that I'll pre-order. I'll
No,
probably wait for it to come out and see what it's like. And if it's getting a lot of positive buzz around it, then I might pick it up. But if it doesn't, then it won't be a thing unless one of us need to play it for the podcast or
yeah,
to review or whatever.
yeah.
Then
Or
I might pick it up to a
if we
thing.
got a review code or a review copy, you know,
Yeah, this is your plug to
yeah.
Square to send
If
us.
you're
After we
listening,
just slag the game off,
Square, well,
send us your
guess
shit
hey,
game.
guess
Square, if you're
what?
listening, send us your shit.
If they say, oh look, these guys they don't sound like they're into it, let's give them a review copy. We play it, we love it. What
Ah,
better publicity is that? And even if we play it, we hate
yeah,
it,
true.
and they pay us to like it. Either way, you know, there you go.
Wink, wink. Yeah,
Wink. Yeah,
transparency. We won't take briberies, but
yeah, we won't take
yeah,
them.
Square. If you're listening and you want to pay us to say it's good,
Yeah,
we are happy to sell our souls.
yeah, that's it. Done, sorted.
Yep,
Yeah,
sorted, done.
yeah,
Um, yeah, yeah. Well, I guess that's the end of the news for this week. So we'll move on to the kind of the main topic, because I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a lengthy-ish discussion. And that is to go into The Last of Us. So obviously last week we kind of did warn you at the beginning that we could be a little bit of spoilers. So I'm going to kind of give you the same one in the game, that there will be spoilers, because we're going to be discussing certain aspects of the game. We both beat the game now.
yeah,
It will be our final thoughts. So we will be talking about specific events which are definitely spoilers within
yeah.
the
We're
game.
we're going to be talking about
So
the last scene, everything. You know what happens to people. So we are going to spoil the shit out of this game. So
yeah.
yeah, this is the warning. If you're still listening to this after after we said about the spoilers, I'm sorry, but you fucked up.
You fucked up.
Yeah, sorry.
It's
Yeah,
well said. You have fucked up. So yeah, unless you beat the game, I would definitely recommend you skip this part of the podcast, just because it's whatever opinion that you have on the story or the game. I think it's one that you should definitely play and kind of come up with your own opinion of it. And I think probably the most positive thing you could probably say about the game is that it's probably such a discussion topic in terms of a game, because I feel like everybody's going to take something different from it and have a different opinion. So I feel like to formulate your own opinion, you should just go in as blind as possible and just play it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree with that, Brad.
yeah, play it. It's interesting. I've got a mate who wants to play it, and he's playing number one now. I don't know if he's finished it or not, and he was asking me about it, and I said I can't in good conscience say go out and buy it. So I said I'll lend it to you because I think like he should play it, but I don't feel like I'll recommend him going out and spending 50 odd quid on it because I don't think it's worth it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Go on.
yeah,
If you want to elaborate on that,
okay. Yeah.
on your thoughts,
Yeah.
or go on. I'll let
Well,
you
like you
take it
say,
away.
it's divisive and it's mixed up. And for me as well, there's certain parts of the game I loved, and it had me hooked, and I was playing it, and it definitely, I'd say this definitely is a part-time play, because if I'd like to spare 15 minutes or 10, 15 minutes, I would turn it on, play it, then turn it off, and I could just jump in and jump out as well as having a big session playing it.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks amazing.
Agreed.
The visuals in it are fantastic. The gameplay I really liked. So I like
Yeah, agreed.
like the action, the shooting.
Yep.
I love the upgrading of the weapons.
Yep.
Some of the set pieces were amazing.
Yeah.
All of that. Some of the characters are good. Some of them not so good.
Okay.
But it got to last week I was still playing as Ellie, and then it
Yep.
got to a certain point where what happens is halfway through the game you then play as Abby, and
Yep.
I don't know. I know. I can see what they're doing. They're trying to show that obviously you hate Ellie because she kills Joel. She smashes.
Abby, you
Yeah,
mean?
sorry. Abby. Yeah, she smashes his head in, so you hate her. And then what they do is they try and say, well, no, this is why she did it. See it
Yeah.
from her side, and like but I just didn't care. I spent the first game playing as Joel and Ellie for 20 odd hours. You get to know them. The story's so good. It's so in depth. The characters are so well written, and you end up loving these characters, and you have a big place for them. And then
Mm.
for one just to get I think cheaply killed within the first 2 hours of the game
Okay.
it was just bad. And then when I was playing as Abby, I was like, I don't care. I know I could see what they were trying to make you do, but I just didn't care. I
Mm.
didn't care about Abby. I don't care about her friends. I actually laughed out loud when her mate Manny got shot through the eye. I thought, I was like, yeah, good. I don't, I don't care. It's just, I don't
Yeah.
care about any of those. When, I just don't know. Yeah, I've got a few, before the game come out, and that's another thing as well. They doctored the trailers. I know they do that anyway because they don't want you to see. Obviously, they don't want to give the story away, but they
Mm.
doctored them so much, thinking that like Joel was alive later in the game. I
Sure.
remember reading an article. I know I mentioned this last week about not hurting. You don't have to kill the dogs, and that's kind of true when you're playing the game because you can
Yeah.
avoid them and that. But there's one part in the
Okay.
game where you it's unavoidable. You have to kill the dog, and so you stab
Yeah.
this dog to death. And then later on, when you're playing as Abby, you having to play fetch with it and stroke it, and it's like they're saying, "Oh, this is a dog you killed her on. You're a piece of shit. Why did you kill that dog?" When there wasn't a
Sure.
choice. They were showing her friends like, "Oh, look, they weren't
Mm.
that bad. Her friends weren't that bad, and you killed them." If there was
Yeah.
a choice to say, like, if you're playing as Ellie and there's a choice to kill and get revenge or let them go, fair enough. If you decided to kill them, then yeah, that would be your choice. But you didn't have a choice. And the bit, I nearly turned it off because I just was fed up with it. When they make
Sure.
you fight Ellie as Abby,
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's just,
I
it,
struggled with that, but yeah,
it
I agree.
really just, and it was such a shame because I was really like last week I said it's a good game, I recommend it, and it was a good game, and then this happens and you're playing as Abby, and
Mm.
And the annoying thing is, some of the best set pieces in the game were with Abby, and
Yeah, I
so
agree. Yeah.
while they was happening, I enjoyed it. So the bit where you're running through the forest at night with Lev and his sister, and you got like the
Yeah.
stalkers chasing you, that was intense. I loved that bit. Another
Yeah.
bit, which I thought was good, when you're playing as Ellie and you go to the hospital, you find a note saying, "Don't go in the bottom levels because it's dangerous," and then you go in
Sure.
there as Ellie, and it's not that bad. There's just a few clickers, and you're like, "Oh, it's not that bad." But when you do go back as Abby, it's it's the next level, and you got that
Yeah, that fucking creature. Yeah,
the
what
new
was that?
it's called the Rat King. That was, I
Is
think
that what it was called?
it's called, that's what it's called, the Rat King. Yeah, you
God.
hear it behind a door, and then you come back out after turning electric on. The door's busted open. There's blood everywhere, and you just know you're going to run into it. And then when it's
Oh
chasing you
God.
and that was brilliant. But
Yeah.
it's a shame. Yeah, it's a good game, but I don't. And maybe if they'd done it a different way, maybe then
Mm.
you would have been able to. I maybe would have been able to relate with Abby more, but because they, yeah, you love Joel, you love Ellie.
Mm.
They killed Joel, and it's just, and yeah, he killed those, he killed the people, and yeah, you can, and I'm not blind to it. Like, no, he don't deserve it. I can see that why he would deserve it, but
Yeah.
I just think for them to such blatant lying, and they also said before it came out, Ellie is the only playable character, and just keep it hidden. And I think obviously this is why everyone, when they read the leaks, was like, it's going to be a bad game because they knew this was happening. And
Mm.
it's yeah, for me, yeah, it ruined it. And this just don't make no sense either. Like, it's just all out of order. You heard about this dance at the beginning, and like Joel got mad at some guy because he was being horrible to Ellie, and then you don't see that till the end of the game. It's like, why are you showing us it now? We don't. Who cares now? And all it does was show that Ellie was being a bitch to Joel, and it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And the last bit as well, when she can't play the guitar because her finger's been bit off. Uh, instead of her like, instead of them doing it, so she tries to play the guitar with her other hand, has to learn it again, has to learn how to play so she can play Joel's song to kind of, you know, keep a bit of Joel alive. She just fucking leaves the guitar and just walks off. She's like, oh fuck it, he's dead now anyway. Don't worry about it. I just don't.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't know if you can tell. I feel very strongly about this. Um,
Yeah, no, you should do. I feel
yeah,
very strongly about
just
it. I've taken away a lot of what you said. Obviously, I feel strongly about all those things, but I've taken different away from it than what you have.
yeah, which is obviously understandable.
Mm.
Everyone's going to have their own, get their own, um, get their own feelings with it. I've got a mate who liked it, played it, he loved it. My brother who played it, at one point he's like, I'm not playing it no more. It's just, I can't, it's just doing. And I do think at the end it dragged a bit as well because you've done the farm bit. I was like, all right, that's the end of the game. Yeah, cool. And then they do this other like hour, was it hour and a half maybe in
Yeah, in
California?
Santa Barbara.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like just to have this fight and still not kill her. And it's just like, what was the? I just don't know. I just don't
Mm.
get it. But yeah, like I say,
Did
it's
you
a
feel emotional in the game at all? In that end bit or with the Joel death? Did you feel
yeah.
emotional?
Joe Def, yeah, it gets you because you're like shit. Like I said, you love Joe. You played in the first game. You
Mm.
learn to love him, and him and Eddie's journey is such a good story, and it's such a big big bond. And for him just to get killed by someone who you don't know who it is with a golf club, I felt, and it just felt cheap. But I don't think Joel would have said that their real names, or even Tommy. I think it was Tommy who said their real name. I don't think that would have happened. So yeah, that got me. But by the end, I must admit, I didn't care. Like, I was just fighting Abby at the end in the water, and yeah, I just by then I was like, I want to do it to finish the game. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know the story. I don't. It kind of took a dive for me. Like I said, maybe if they'd done it a different way to have, uh, the Abby playable
Mm.
bit's a bit different. I don't know why they'd make you play as Ellie all the way up. It's
Sure.
a revenge story, and then switch it, you're playing as her. Yeah, we know why she's doing it. I just don't care. I just don't want to play as this woman anymore. This character. So yeah, that's my take. And it's a shame, really, because I like the game. It's just the story's just kind of taken a nosedive. Everything's it just kind of don't seem like it's in order. Like I said, the dance bit. Why did they put that at the end? What was I don't.
I think that was done deliberate. Well, obviously, it's done deliberately, but I think it was put there. How I took that part away was to. So the whole thing is about loss and sacrifice and obsession. And the game for me, the meaning of the game is obsession will cost you everything.
Yeah.
Abby's
All right.
obsession cost her everything. It lost her a boyfriend Owen. It lost her everything. She was end up being captured in Santa Barbara with obviously the other Liv, who I think is a fantastic character, that Chinese boy. Um, and same with Ellie. She lost everything. Her
Yeah.
obsession with killing Abby made her lose everything. She lost her girlfriend. They had a little family on the farm, like you said. It could have easily ended there. When she sat on that tractor with the baby, with the sunset, it could have rolled credits and been this happy ending. But that was not the story they wanted to tell. It could not end happy. And it's kind of like, do I like that decision? Maybe not. Would I like Ellie to have a happy ending because I care about Ellie and Joel? Yes. But I can't say it's bad because they chose. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like when I say something's bad, it's kind of like I think of kind of like Game of Thrones ending, where I think, why have you made these choices? Where it's kind of like I think of like, I don't know, like Sopranos or Breaking Bad, where I think the ends are good, but they're not decisions I would make. Like the things that Walter White does, I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And the things he does with Jesse, I'm like, why are you doing this? But I can't say the story's bad because it's so well told, and that is how I feel about this.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
It completely makes sense. Yeah, and I can get where you're coming from. I just. I don't know. Yeah. I just think the way they did it, and like I think Ellie lost more. Ellie, like she lost Joel. Obviously, she lost her girlfriend, the baby, their
Mm,
home. Abby still was gonna go find the Fireflies and had Lev. She still had. I just think at the end, Abby come off better. She come up on top rather than Ellie. And why they
mm,
made you fight Ellie as Abby, I just do not. I don't.
yeah,
That was just there was one point where I fucked it up,
it's uncomfortable. Yeah,
and Ellie like shot Abby's face off, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just end the game here and just live in ignorance and pretend that was it.
yeah. I
It's
messed up
just
it loads of times.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just and Jesse, I thought Jesse was a good new character. And for
yeah.
him just to get shot in the face as he ran out the door was like, oh, he's dead now. He like don't, he never gonna get mentioned.
Mm,
And like, yeah, like I said, when Tommy killed Manny, I was like, yeah, good because he spat on Joel's body. I suppose I'm still carrying the hatred from the beginning of the game to the end, and
mm,
I don't think that's how they want you to play it, but that's how I played it. That's
sure.
how I done it, and yeah, I thought before the end, before I'd completed it, I thought I might go through and try and platinum it, but I just can't be bothered. I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna play this again. Where I played the Last of Us one so many times on all different on different difficulty settings, and played it on a
Sure.
PS3 like 3 times, and on a PS4, and
Yeah.
I can play this one. I just know I'm not going to go back to, which is a shame.
Yeah.
It is
I'm
a
not going to
shame.
go back to it either. But not
Um,
for the same reasons. Yeah.
yeah, it's just and as well, it's just so it is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But I remember talking to you about it. You said, "Oh, I'm having a." I think you was playing. Might have been playing. I saw you playing FIFA because you was like, "I've got to have a break because it's a bit
It's
intense."
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very intense. Yeah.
Um. But yeah. Like I said, yeah, I'd say play it because as a game, it's good. It's just the story shit. Like, I can't say it's an overall a shit game because I was enjoying playing it up to even like I say even the Abbey bits. Some of them I really enjoyed playing.
Mm,
Like the mechanics and the gameplay, the visuals, and it's just the story, and especially the end. It just messed it up for me. And
Okay.
yeah, that's
Fair
my
enough. Fair enough.
my takeaway from it.
Yeah, mine is different, I guess, a lot different in many ways. I kind of take away a little bit different. Like I said, the theme of what I took away was obsession will cost you everything.
Mm.
And although I didn't agree with a lot of the choices, although I didn't like a lot of the choices, although most of it made me very uncomfortable, anxious, tense, sad, upset, all these emotions that a video game normally doesn't make you feel. You normally get quite, as players, we get serviced. It's all about feel good, this plays good, we're having fun. This game is not doing that. And I feel like that's intentional. So all the things I feel uncomfortable or the things I don't like about it, because I feel like that's what the game is supposed to be doing, I can't say that is bad,
Yeah,
if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I feel like even with like the Joel death, although you're saying it's cheap,
mm.
that made me cry. Seeing Ellie
yeah,
being held down
yeah.
and watching him
Begging,
die and getting battered by a golf. I literally had a tear in my
yeah,
eye. I was like,
but
oh my
yeah,
God. Like that is brutal. And like you said, I had real hatred.
yeah,
When she's going, I'm gonna fucking kill you to Abby, I'm like, Ellie, get up,
yeah.
let's kill her,
It's fucking
kill
killer.
her,
Yeah,
kill her. Like I was fuming to the point where you wanted to get up and punch the TV.
yeah,
And it's kind of like a game never makes me feel like that. Like you just play, you just chill out. I'm on the sofa, I'm playing a game. Don't feel bad.
yeah,
This game made me feel emotions that I've never felt before. And even like you said with the ending, where she's got Abby under the water and
yeah,
choking her, and
yeah.
she's about to die, and you're like,
Good.
Ellie, are you going to do this
No, I
after
was
everything?
thinking, do it.
Really, you
Exactly.
thinking good. I
Yeah.
was thinking,
After
just don't, just
everything you've
let it
been
go,
through,
Ellie.
just
Oh
fucking
no,
do
I was
it.
thinking, just let it
Just
go.
after everything she went through to get there, to do that's what she wanted to do. Get some closure, just
Yeah.
kill her, and then she didn't. She's like, go, oh, go on, go for your little boat. It's just, I just don't. I think like Tommy summed it up perfectly. It's a fucking joke, and for me it was. Yeah, the story was a fucking joke.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. When she does that, I was kind of just like, let it go.
no,
You shouldn't have even gone in the first place. You should have just stayed in the farm and just let it go.
it's
Abby could
just
have killed you there and then in the theatre. She didn't. She left you. She told you never to see you again. She left it. You should have left
but
it.
who's she to tell? Who's she to tell Ellie not to? And that bit as well. Like they use the whole pregnancy thing a bit much. Like Dina, I'm pregnant. All right, cool. And then when Ellie isn't like a psycho as much as Abby. Like so, when Ellie accidentally stabbed Mel,
Mm.
she didn't know she was pregnant. And when she saw she was pregnant, she broke down. She was on the floor. She was like,
Yeah.
"What have I
Once again,
done?
that made me feel very
Yeah,
uncomfortable
what
doing
have I
that. I was like,
done?"
wow.
And then you play as Abby.
Wow.
Dina comes in, saves Ellie's life, and she's like, "Don't kill her. She's pregnant." And Abby's like, "Good." She was about to slit her throat only because
Yeah, she was.
she
Yeah.
saw Lev. So fuck her. She's just a shit character. She's just got no redeeming features in my eyes. I just don't like. I just don't like it. It's just I don't know why
Mm.
they vilified Ellie and Joel to some extent. Like they made Ellie just proper be a bitch to Joel. And I just don't get it. Like I know, like this, you say this game makes you feel emotions that another game hasn't, and that's good.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
to films and books do it as well. But the first game did it. When Sarah got killed, you're like shit.
Yeah.
Like the first bit
Yeah, that made me feel
when
very emotional. Yeah.
when David's tracking Eddie down and she kills him, and then Joel finds her and he's like holding her, saying
Yeah.
it's all right. And at the end, when he saves her, and it's that was the writing. That was the game. That's how a game is, done good. But another bit,
Because it has a happy ending, or it's like a
it wasn't.
redeeming
Yeah,
hero kind of
it,
story.
it wasn't really. It could have been. He did murder everyone in the hospital, and it
Yeah.
was the cure for humanity, and he stopped it. So I wouldn't say it was like a really happy ending, but it was
Mm.
just a journey, and it had a satisfying conclusion. This one didn't.
Sure.
And another thing that really pissed me off was when you're playing as Abby and then in Santa Barbara, she tells Lev to scooch, and I was like, don't fucking say that. That's what Joel used to say to Ellie. I was like, no, don't, no. That annoyed me as well. That, and
Okay. Yeah.
by then I was picking up everything, so every little thing
Yeah.
was me up there. So
Yeah, you had his real critique against Abby.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say I mean I like Abby or I think Abby is a great character. I get obviously, like you said earlier, I get her motivations. Obviously,
yeah,
Joel killed her dad, and then obviously they had to leave the Fireflies, which was her whole life.
yeah.
And then obviously that obsession and eventually made her lose her boyfriend Owen. And then which obviously turned her into this kind of machine. How fucking jacked was that woman?
I know.
Unbelievable.
And another
The
thing as well,
muscles on her was
yeah,
unbelievable.
that sex scene that was kind of unnecessary as well. That made me feel something. That made me feel uncomfortable. Like I was like,
You pro.
no, I was like, what the fuck is this? Where's this come from?
Oh yeah, this is all
It's
this
just
gory stuff like
yeah,
stabbing pregnant
and
women. It's
then
like
just
this sexy.
yeah, and then I'm just gonna like oh now I'm gonna fucking I started to that I was like that's not really
Yeah,
but
you're trying to pick things in Abby still, but
yeah, it's just I don't
yeah,
like her.
she. I
And
can tell, mate. I
to
can tell. I think
the
everything's
point, my niece is called Abby and is spelt the same way. I don't like my niece no more. So it's that's it now. It's crossed over into the real world. I don't like her. All right, so
Okay,
yeah,
it's tarnished all Abbeys for you from now
it's
on.
just
Yeah.
it's a shame, but like I say, that's got to the point where someone I know asked me if they should buy it, and I was like, I'll lend it to you because you shouldn't have to buy it. So yeah, but
Yeah, no, I think it's a must buy for anybody that's played the first, just for you to have opinion, because you could come out feeling the way I do, or you could come out feeling the way you do.
yeah,
I feel like it's very 50-50. Um, I think the game is groundbreaking in what it's trying to do, although I feel similar in many ways with a lot of a lot of the things you've said, but I feel like this is, like I said earlier, a bit like almost like the Breaking Bad of video games,
yeah.
where it's kind of like,
We'll take out the break in, and it's definitely bad. So yeah,
but it's kind of like Breaking Bad for me is like really good storytelling, but you don't necessarily like all the characters. I don't necessarily like Walter White. I don't like a lot of things he did. I didn't like his wife. I didn't like, do you know what I mean? Like I didn't like his kid. It's like so many characters. I just
why
don't
was you
like.
watching it? I don't like him. I don't like his kid. I don't like his wife. I don't like him.
I didn't resonate with hardly any of the characters, even like his brother, not his brother-in-law. It was his brother-in-law, like
Yeah,
who worked for the drug. Yeah, like even him, I didn't like. Do you know what I mean? There's so many
yeah,
characters,
yeah,
but as an overall program, I feel everything was done so well, and I kind of liked the characters in a weird way where I didn't like them at the same time. And I thought the program was just brilliant. And it's kind of like this. There's certain characters that I don't like, and there's certain decisions where it's like, wow, that's brutal. A bit like when you like, I know it's a bit of a zombie thing, so it's a similar comparison, but a bit like with The Walking Dead, when you have them certain deaths where you're like, oh wow, I really wasn't prepared for
yeah,
that, or that really upset me.
yeah,
And
yeah,
certain
yeah.
deaths in like
Game of
each
Thrones
other,
as well.
even Game of Thrones where there's deaths,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I really didn't want
Oh,
that character to die, or that's my favorite
it's,
character now. They've just had this brutal death,
yeah.
and it's kind of like I can't then say the program's bad, and I feel like this is the same. It's like the first game to do that, and I hope more games are brave enough to do what they've done.
I really fucking hope not because it's just is yeah and
Do you not think it makes more diverse and interesting storytelling if they
yeah
are brave enough to
yeah
do
it's
this?
brave enough to do it, but do it in a way where it actually works. Not all right, we're going to kill off your favorite character, then you're going to play as Ellie for like 10, 11 hours trying to get revenge. Then you're going to switch it, and you're going to play as this fucking idiot, for 10 hours, and then you're going to make you fight the character you like more. And oh yeah, no, I just no, I just
Yeah,
it's got me. I can't.
yeah, yeah. I partly get what you're saying. It is a little bit backward in the sense that they do make you play as Abby after Ellie, but I don't know. I feel like it is. They're just wanting to show you both sides and make it uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And the only part I would take out, or the only part I would rather it just been a cutscene, was when you are fighting Ellie, like you said. I found that very uncomfortable fighting Ellie. I did not want
Exactly.
to fight
Yeah.
Ellie at all, especially when you're choking and you've got to keep tapping square
Yeah.
to choke her. And like, oh, for fuck's sake, are you actually going to kill her now? I don't actually want to kill her. This is how it's ending.
Mm.
Obviously, it doesn't end like that. Obviously, you don't kill Ellie, which was kind of like this, almost like this relief. But once again, that made me feel an emotion. I was pressing it hardly, not even looking at the screen, thinking, "Oh, for fuck's sake, I don't want this to happen."
Yeah.
And when it does, it was this huge relief. Like I said, this game makes you feel shit. Like
Yeah.
I've never felt any game like tension, sadness, things I didn't want to do. It makes you do things like you said, like last week with the dogs, killing them and hearing them scream and fighting the clickers and all the creatures and stuff. That they're just disgusting.
Yeah.
Like they made me feel like I don't want to fight it. And I guess that's what the world is. The world is a brutal place. We're in a place where it's the end of the world. There's infected everywhere, and you've got these different factions and cults and different groups, and it's dog eat world. And there's no one that can say this person deserves to live one day and this person deserves to die. And it doesn't serve anybody. And I guess, although you can say, Joel, we want Joel to live, but in this world, he does not deserve to live. And it doesn't care about your feelings,
Yeah.
which is kind of like,
I
like
just
it
think,
pains me, but I kind of like, fine, that's the story you wanted to tell, whether or not I like it or not. But I wouldn't turn around and say it's bad because of that. Unless it was something like really bad storytelling. I know you're saying you think it was, but
yeah.
like I think of like bad storytelling was like I kind of go back to like, I don't know, Star Wars, for example, where it's kind of like The Last Jedi. I think it's quite, I know it's been probably a little bit,
Yeah.
some people probably do like it,
This is
but
the last
majority of Star
Jedi
Wars
of
fans,
us. So
yeah, the last, oh, it's not happening, come on. But
it is fucking terrible.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. But for me, the Last Jedi was kind of like really like you had all these characters for all these years, and then they kind of just flipped it on its head. Where I don't think this does this. I think this executes the story it wants to tell, and it does it very well.
Yeah, they certainly told the story they want to tell. I just hope they don't make another one because they just yeah. I certainly I wish I read the leaks now because it just sound yeah. But you know, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it up to a point. Like I said, technically, yeah, good game. I like the upgrading the weapons and being able to make silences in this one. I like that. I thought that was good. The crossbow, I
Mm.
like the crossbow. Mainly the weapons, really. You
Yeah,
know, it's
weapons
just
were really good. Yeah, weapons, and once you got the flamethrower as well, that was cool. Did you like the
yeah, the
flamethrower?
flamethrower was good. Yeah, the silence it was like an MP5. That was good.
Mm.
But
Yeah, Eddie gets like a silencer, like auto rifle at the end. I mean,
yeah,
in
yeah,
Santa Barbara, that was quite cool
that
to
was
shoot
good.
with. Yeah, the guns were really good actually. The gunplay was really good,
Yeah,
especially like going back to what you said earlier with the hospital thing, and you fight that creature. What do you call it, the Rat King?
yeah, the Rat King.
And that fight, I must have died so many times because I was shooting it forever, and I was like, when is this ending?
Yeah, yeah, it
It
was
just
good. Yeah,
seemed
it
like
was
it
really
wasn't
good.
dying. How many
And
bullets it
then
took, and I was running.
you had to fight like the other part of it that ripped off.
Oh yeah, that took so many bullets as well. And that little, oh damn,
The
yeah,
stalkers in this game were really good. I was like sneaking around. I really like them. And I think,
yeah,
to be honest, I even playing with Abby, I didn't like. I didn't care about her, but I was still kind of enjoying it up to a point. It's the end when you had to fight Ellie and all that after that. That kind of soured the whole game for me then. So
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
and as I say, the end when she didn't even take Joel's guitar. That's like the last thing she's got to remember Joel by. Just fucking learn to play it again with your other hand. Just don't just think, oh, I won't bother then. You know, oh, he's dead. Don't worry about it. See you later. I just don't get it. I just don't. Yeah.
I didn't take the ending as that. I take the ending as she left her stuff there to go find Dina and to bring her back
No.
because she didn't take any of her
Yeah.
stuff. Like, where's she going? She going back to Jacksonville? I thought that she went to look for Dina.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe.
how I took
Yeah.
the ending. Is that's where she went, and
But
they just left it as that. Because I didn't take it as, oh, I'm forgetting about Joel now. I don't think it was that. because obviously she still had that flashback scenes, and then them scenes where like they did it with Abby and with Ellie, where they're like going to sleep and you have them dream sequences.
Yeah.
Where Abby's one was in the hospital, in the Firefly hospital, and going through that door and seeing her dad each time, and it was like that constant thing of that obsession, and obviously with Ellie had that one where she goes down the stairs, where obviously Joel was getting battered, and it's kind of like this obsession with like them things in their mind all the time that's playing on them. And yeah, that's a real message that I got taken away from the game. And like, I know last week you said the flashbacks were a little bit too much, but even with that, it kind of made your love for Ellie and Joel even
Yeah,
more,
no, I like
with like
that.
the
Yeah,
museum, and then
yeah.
Ellie being younger again, and that with Joel, and him being like a father to her. And you're just like,
Yeah.
I love these
The,
characters.
the,
And then
the
sat in the
museum,
astronaut thing, it's
the
incredible
museum,
stuff.
the museum flashback was really good. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, so good, so
Yeah,
good.
like you say, that's the characters that you love from the first one. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's just yeah, it's a shame it ended kind of. I don't. Yeah, I'd like to say you like this game, and I don't. And it's funny because last week I said, oh yeah, unless they do something to make me hate it, and they did. So you know, that's that.
fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, obviously, I feel like whatever you feel or think, I think you would still tell someone like you should just play it and come up with your own opinion.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of my
Oh yeah, like I
takeaway.
said,
Is
yeah, I'm gonna
I
let.
think some people are going to like it, some people won't. But I think however you think or feel about the game, I feel like it's a game that you should play, whether or not you played the first one. I think you should play the first one first,
Yeah,
just to get content. I think
yeah,
that you won't feel the same about this game if you never played the first one. You probably won't feel emotional about playing as Abby. You won't feel any of the bits that
exactly.
you.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. Yeah, that's what I
So
said to my mate, Steve. Little shout out there. I was at play, finish the first one, and then I'll just lend you this, so then you can play it. If you like it or not. But yeah, there you go. I hope you don't listen to this before he plays it, actually, because it would just ruin
yeah,
it.
you shouted about it
So,
at the end of
yeah.
spoiling it.
So
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
listen, Steve. Just play the game.
Too late.
Yeah.
If he's listened to all that through and then listened to that, then yeah, it's a bit late.
Yeah.
But you
Um,
fucked up, Steve. You fucked up.
yeah. So yeah. Yeah, that was my takeaway from it. I'm just looking for Ghost of Tsushima to come out now, so I can play that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I feel like we're going to back. I don't know if it's going to be happy. I
Yeah,
don't know what ancient Japan's like. Probably not so happy, full of death. But it looks a bit more of a funner game to play, playing as a samurai or a ninja, whatever. It seems a little bit more closer to my games. But the
would you
only
say?
negativity I can say about the game is that it was too long.
Yeah,
I
I
think the game should
definitely.
have been
Yeah,
shorter. I don't
yeah,
know if it's because I was trying to get it finished for today, because I was playing it yesterday up till around about this time. Actually, I finished it like 8 yesterday,
yeah,
so I was playing it most of yesterday. And like you said, there was multiple points where I thought I was done, but
yeah.
then I wasn't. I was like, I need to get this finished. So I did feel like, this is going on a little bit too much. But once again, I feel like that was. I don't know if I'm keep making excuses for it, but
I think
I
you
feel
are.
that once again that was a point of, because at the end where Eddie's obviously got stabbed in like the ribs, and obviously Abby was been hanging on the beach for a while, they looked knackered, and I felt knackered with them, and I thought that that was like a
Yeah,
point of it as well. Like they were both fucking knackered as anything, and I was knackered just playing the game. I was like, I'm done as well. Just let it
yeah.
go. That's
By
why
the
I was
end,
kind of like,
I just was like, yeah, just want to get it over with now. I want to finish it. And when
yeah,
they come
yeah.
up at the end, oh, you're going to play New Game Plus? I was like, fuck off. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Would
yeah.
you
But
say,
yeah,
at the end of the review or discussion, whatever you want to call it, would you class The Last of Us 2 as a part-time player's game? Would you say it's a game that if you haven't got a lot of time, you can, get good, good enjoyment out of, and a good game to
yeah, yeah, definitely. Overall, I think average playtime is like 20 hours.
play? Yeah.
Mine was under. I think I did it in 18,
Mm,
18 hours.
okay.
So I think any game under 20 to 30 hours is a good
Yeah.
part-time game,
You
especially if it's a single player
you always
game.
do
Because we,
finish quite quick though, so that's obvious. That's
yeah, I, so some of my critiques with the gameplay was not knowing where to go. And a bit like what you said with your tip last week, I actually went into accessibility menu, and there is an option that you can turn on where it tells you where to go. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
click the I think it was L3.
Yeah.
So you click the left stick and it just
It
gives you an
tells
arrow
you.
which way you're supposed to go.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was just like, I just enabled that. Because when I wanted to get it done and I was walking around at certain points, I was like, I want to get through this as quick as possible. So I didn't really I was playing it naturally, but as soon as the point where I was kind of like, oh, which way do I go? I just clicked it, it
yeah,
just
yeah,
told me.
yeah.
And I kind of wish I had that from the beginning because there were certain points where I felt a little bit frustrated or couldn't know where to go and I just wanted that.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that they gave them options in because that would have been my one gameplay kind of thing I would have had about it, but
Yeah.
they already had that in the menu, so I can't really say it was bad or not because they gave you the option to turn it on. So yeah,
The one
but
option I think they did need on it, they needed to add on was the one that make the story more coherent and better. I think that would have been great. You know, but there you go. Little joke there, little joke. Little zinger.
yeah,
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 yeah.
okay, well,
But yeah, I'd say this was a part-time player.
we all have opinions.
It's definitely a part-time player game. Like I said,
100%, yeah, agreed.
I was going in 10, 15 minutes here and there. So yeah, yeah. But that's that.
Yeah, I feel like most of these kind of PlayStation, I'm calling PlayStation exclusive, but first party PlayStation games like obviously God of War, Spider-Man, I'm sure Ghost of Tsushima will be the same, Last of Us, Uncharted. They're all very much part-time player games. They're
Yeah,
not very long. You can play them bit by bit, play them by yourself. They're almost perfect part-time player games. Cyberpunk, unfortunately, I don't think will
no,
be.
that won't be no. But still looks really good though. So looking forward to
Yes, 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 definitely. We have gone well over the hour mark
it.
now.
Yeah.
So for this week, I think we'll leave out how long is it, and we'll bring that back next week.
Okay.
So we'll just round out the show now.
Yeah.
But
Are you
in
gonna?
terms of social media stuff, yeah, if you can, obviously like and subscribe, all the good stuff that Brad said.
Yeah.
But you want to remind the guys, Brad?
Before we go, are you got anything you're playing this week?
Obviously, like I said yesterday, I finished Last of Us yesterday. This week, I might jump into Destiny. I might play FIFA. I don't know. It's a bit more of just a casual, nothing in particular until I guess Ghosts comes out.
Yeah.
Although I did see today that PS Plus games for this month is Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider,
Oh,
which I
is that
don't
the
know
newest one?
which one. I think so. I don't know if that is the newest one because I was hoping that was the newest one. If it is, that's the only one I didn't play. If it isn't, then I've played the others, so
I
I'll be
should
a little
be able
right.
to tell you because I've got my games next to me.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because the second one, oh no, the second one is Rise of the Tomb Raider. So yeah, no, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I played that one then. Yeah. So yeah, no, I wasn't
Yeah,
saying that. I thought that was the latest one because I never actually picked it up. So I was going to play that. And then the other one is, although we joked about it earlier, is NBA 2K20.
okay.
And yeah, I thought I'd give that a little download and have a little play. They've probably got like a good little like story mode where you kind of make your own career and stuff. So um, I'm not very good at basketball games. I don't really normally play basketball, but it's a free game, so I thought I might give it a go. But yeah, other than that, nothing in particular. Yourself, Brad?
I downloaded Days Gone, but I don't really feel like going back into a heavy zombie game straight away.
Yeah,
So
that's like the last game I'd want to play. Yeah.
I've been meaning to play for years now. I've had it for actually years. South Park: The Fractured Butthole on the Switch, so I might give that a go. And
Sure.
I've also got a complete Spider-Man, obviously, but that ain't gonna happen. And Outer Worlds, I might go back. I jump back onto the Outer Worlds on the
Yeah,
Xbox. Yeah, so yeah, like you say, like yourself, really, nothing major up. Got to play, but yes, just mainly I've got a little bit of a backlog. Maybe I'll go through them.
sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I guess that's the show for this week.
yeah, the
Do you
social
want
media.
to tell the good guys at home? Yeah,
Yeah, the social media. If you like listening, why not? Yeah, give us a follow on Twitter at PT Players Pod. And if you on Facebook, just like us, and we're Part Time Players Podcast. We're on YouTube as well, so if you like to like and subscribe to our channel, and leave a 5-star review on iTunes. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, leave a 5-star review on iTunes if you didn't like The Last of Us, and give us a 5-star review if you did like The Last of Us. So,
Yeah, to
yeah,
be
either
fair,
way, give us a 5-star
I
review.
think we've been, you liked it, I didn't like it, so we've
Good
covered,
value, good value for money.
both sides.
Yeah,
So really, we should be getting all the love.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've covered both sides. So, yeah, yeah, I guess this is the show for this week. So, yeah, hope you enjoy the show. Obviously, our opinions are our own. So, yeah, we'll tune in for next week when we've got more good gossip and things to talk about. Yeah, got anything to say to the guys, Brad,
No,
before we wrap
just
up?
yeah, thanks for listening. And yeah, it's that's it really. Yeah, thanks for listening. And like I say, if you want to follow us on our social medias, that'd be great. And
Yeah,
if you have any questions or just want to get in touch about anything, send us an email at ptplayerspod@gmail.com. And that's
yep,
me. That's
yep,
me. That's all I
yeah.
have to say.
Yeah, one last kind of thing with housekeeping and kind of podcast and social media stuff. Obviously, currently we're only posting on Podbean, Apple Podcast, and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, in terms of emailing in, if there is any other platforms or anything you would prefer, we probably will try to scope out to other platforms. I know there's quite a few, and
Yeah,
obviously Spotify as well.
yeah,
So yeah, as we kind of expand, obviously we're
yeah.
like,
We're still
hence the title, we
very
are.
very new to this. So yeah, and if you are listening and you do enjoy it, yeah, it would be great if we could see get any sort of feedback really. Even if you hate it, it'd be nice to know that someone's actually listened to it. So yeah, you know,
Right.
yeah.
Perfect. Perfect stuff. Right. Anyway, take care. Bye.
I